Hi, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snow. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions as we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. Hey, as the new year, it's already the 11th, man. We're digging into the new year 2025, and it looks like boxing events are unfolding in mass proportion. And we like to take it to London, England, where the new Ring magazine, Turk Al Sheikh, they had an award dinner um, for their new magazine, naming the fighter of the year, trainers of the year, manager of the year. So all of that's unfolding as we speak, but it looks like Turk Al Sheikh is bringing Ring Magazine for its intense boxing history and that championship belt that they have to the forefront, which is great for boxing. It looks like the president of the WBC, the great Mauricio Suleiman, is over there attending. He announced that on his Facebook page that he's over in London and he's going to attend. Boy, when two giants get together like the WBC and the Ring magazine, Turk Al Sheikh, who's putting up a lot of money for a lot of great fights over in Saudi Arabia, it looks like greater things are going to happen. And he came out with an extensive fight list for 2025 that he wants to see certain big fights happen over in Saudi Arabia, and hopefully we get a chance to see those great fights unfold that he's naming. Boxing needs it. It keeps boxing going, where the term pound for pound the best, or pound for pound the best fighters in the world get in the ring and they fight. Boxing rise to a level second to none for events that people haven't seen, where there's great matchups, like the 50th anniversary of the Thriller in Manila is coming up for 2025, and also the Rumble in the Jungle recently had its 50-year anniversary. So those type of great matchup with the best fighting the best, where you come out at the end of the year with pound for pound best fighters in the world, and to make that distinction, who's the best fighter in the world, and you can only achieve that by when great fighters meet other great fighters, and there's really no losers if they really climb in the ring and put it all on the line. And it seems like Turk Al Sheikh has worked day and night with promoters to bring the best fight and the best, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Man, what a dynamite matchup. Regardless who wins that fight, it's giving boxing people what they want. And you got to give the boxing people what they want. And all they want is good fights, and they want excitement. They want to be thrilled to see who really is pound for pound the best. And that Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight, that's what boxing people want. Two dynamite great fighters, and there's no losers, man. At the end of the day, when great fighters match up, it's hard to say. People never talk about their legendary status of who won, who lost. They talk about the dynamite fight and what it was, what the thrills and the excitement of that night bring. So I'm happy for Turk Al Sheikh putting those kind of fights together over Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And to all the great fans in Saudi Arabia, we want to give them the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, and assalamu alaikum to Your Highness Turk Al Sheikh. And may the Lord of the world continue to bless you with your endeavors for putting your money where your mouth is and making great things happen, along with these great boxing organizations with Jose Suleiman, Daryl Peoples, Gilberto Mendoza, those great presidents of these organizations, from time to time, year after year, they continuously, after people criticize them a lot, there's nothing perfect. You have to work and continue to work to make things perfect in anything, any sport. Sometimes great matchup don't turn out right. A controversy happens, but that's what makes great events. There's always something surrounding the event to bring out something that people didn't know about, and then it unfolds. Then it makes the events bigger than life, and that's what happens when you meet, put greatness together, and you're searching for greatness. And Eddie Hearns and Frank Warren, it looks like, they're trying to put together a great fight for England. We had two fights with Usyk and Tyson Fury. Usyk won both times. Okay, he's the undisputed champion. He gave up the IBF belt, and at this time, I don't think it's necessary to run that fight a third time. They keep saying, "Oh man, it's on paper." Yeah, let Tyson Fury climb in the ring with someone like Anthony Joshua in England, which both of them are coming off losses in fights, title fights. Let's see, in a big fight like that, who rises to the occasion to demand another shot at the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And I think what happens is that these guys want to tie up the heavyweight division. We understand that whoever rules the heavyweight division is the king of boxing, because what the heavyweights bring to the table. But however, what slows up the progress for those of contenders, and I ain't talking about the pretenders, I'm talking about solid contenders who earned the right, who fought the right, that followed the rules, fought things to get matched up, to have that opportunity to fight for the title. The number one position now has been just watered down because they don't want these number one contenders to fight for the title. You know what I mean? That's why number one contenders were put in that position, is because so many great fighters, and I'm going to tell you, for instance, one, Willie the Worm Monroe. That's the best example. Because Joe Frazier, he was a middleweight, he had wins over Marvin Hagler. He had to stay number one contender for a long, long time to try to get a shot at the middleweight title. And what happened is, because of that example, the number one, they adjusted the rules to ensure that the number one contender gets his vow at a certain amount of days, certain amount of months, that he will be fighting for the title, because he earned the right to fight his way into the number one position, and also earn the right to fight for the championship of the world. And to the promoters, yes, we understand it's all about money, ain't nothing funny. But I believe that it's just hurting the game when you come back to back like that. I think it's not good for the game, for those that are following, in my own opinion. And I think the fight to make, and which would make the Usyk fight a huger, better fight, is the winner coming out, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight, to demand the fight Usyk again. So that's a fruitful thought for the boxing world to look at. and to ponder those kind of thoughts as they're trying to work out other great fights in boxing. So yes, the boys needs to get past Parker. I think that's a dynamite fight. Both of them are the boys who knocked out Anthony Joshua, who's fought his way gallantly up in order to get a IBF elimination fight after Usyk released and didn't want to fight the number one contender. But I believe Usyk does have a win over the boys, and we have to look at that as the boys is trying to fight his way up to challenge Usyk, who is considered the best heavyweight champion of the world. So we look at it. We look at all of that, and well, I don't think the government has the right in order to oversee something like that. I believe that in time, the boxing organization with their meetings, they find a way to make things right, and I believe that they're going to make certain things in boxing right. But I don't think Tyson Fury deserves a third fight now after 24 rounds of boxing, losing the first fight and the second fight. He didn't show in either fight that and this is nothing bad to say about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has been a dynamite champion. He beat dynamite people. He beat dynamite champions, pound for pound. But hey, look, man, someone else deserves a shot at the title, and you're going to have to. I believe he should earn that right again, not a third match because they went in the room and pondered up the contract and say, hey, look, we're going to get a 3-shirt. Yeah, it's good business, but yeah, they're saying that ESPN and all of these people are buying it. Sky TV, they got all of these TV outlets pondering for the fight. But I believe that the same people pondering for that fight with ESPN has a contract that has to be filled with Bob Arum with Tyson Fury. So that's why they're shopping the deal, the precedent. You know what I mean? So, hey, look, man, give someone else a chance. I believe ESPN would love a fight in England with a former two heavyweight champions, and between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. In my heart, I believe that is the fight to be made, in that fight, in that great rematch. If they do it in Saudi Arabia, if they do it in England, it's still used in that huge. And that's what is the conversation for right now with Davis, Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis, he needs to get things going back, right? A great fighter. He needs to get back on the right track. Don't put a lot of misinformation about what you're doing. If you're retiring, retire if you're going to retire. But if you're going to fight, come out and fight the best of the best, because that's where you're at. And I believe Gervonta Davis is one of those great pound for pound fighters. And stay in there, man. You got to make that money while you can, man. You don't want to wait. Weight broke the wagon, and it'll break you if you wait too long. It will eat up your finances and all of that on the outside pondering. And I know when a fighter gets a lot of money in his pocket, he want to go out and spend some and enjoy his hard work. But what happens when you're at the end of your 30s and 40s and 50s, when you had the great earning potential when you were young? You didn't earn it, and then you think it was hard when you were young, it becomes 5 times, 10 times as harder to earn that kind of money. And your mind's willing, but your body's not. And I believe with Tyson Fury and them, that's what they're on. They're not on the upside of the mountain. They're on the other side of the mountain at being, over 35. For Usyk, who is the older fighter of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, so they're all feeling that on the other side of the mountain things. Now, Usyk is on top of the mountain. He hasn't went over the edge yet, but I believe Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was on the other side of that mountain. Can they catch a valley on the other side of that mountain and rise up again? I believe they can. All things are possible for those who are willing and those who want to work hard. So some other breaking news, the WBO has announced interim title for their junior welterweight champion, Televido Lopez. They're saying an interim championship needs to be because Televido Lopez can't come to agreement with his promoter. And I hope for Televido Lopez the same thing, man. I hope you can work things out, that you get things on the right path so you can climb in the ring for some big fights that await you, and that they're not stalled. But in the meantime, it looks like the WBO said they're going to create an interim title. So whoever wins the interim championship, they will be able to keep on going, to keep on working hard to become, the junior welterweight WBO champion. And also the IBF, for our boxing fans out there, is that Lomachenko, who's been a great champion for the IBF, he requests to grant a 60 days medical absence, and that medical extension that he asked for had expired, which is the date 11th, but it looks like the IBF, the International Boxing Organization, said they granted him that extension, and that there will be an interim champion, and that the interim champion by October 8th of 2025 will have to fight Lomachenko once he's over this medical thing of 60 days that the IBF gave the medical extension, man. So boxing's on the move. It's on the rise, and they're, like I said, these boxing organization and Turk Al Sheikh, they're trying to put together these great fights by giving guys, if they need time, that are injured or something, to get themselves together in order to come meet these different kind of mandates and be able to go in there and get and earn that big time championship. So yes, we were at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, and what a day it was, man. At the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, we carried it and streamed it live with a great class. Steve Canton, who was president, they announced their class, man, and it looks like they're well on their way for June for 2025, man. And we'll be announcing, we'll have Steve Cantor on the show at one point announcing different things that he's doing with SJC Boxing Gym, one of the oldest boxing gym in existence. I think it's over 53 or 54 years being open, and all the people that pass through there, from great fighters and young men that arrive to the occasion through the different programs that he runs down there in Fort Myers. Hats off to you. And also in attendance there was Craig Hawk, who got on the live stream. He's president of the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, and he had announced his class of 2025. which I believe is a dynamite class with James Lights Out Tony leading the class, with Ray Mercer going in also. But with the presidents, Darryl Peoples from the IBF going in, Gilberto Mendoza Jr., who's president of the WBA, going in that class, man. It's and Fearless Freddie Ladd. I believe that is a dynamite class, and the date for that is mark it on your calendar, is May 2nd, May 3rd of 2025 in Indianapolis, Indiana. We'll be there live covering it as these past greats get recognized for their accolades and their contribution to boxing in the state of Indiana. And for people who don't know Craig Hawk, who's president of the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, he has the most fights in the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. He's inducted. His board inducted him. I went in with that class along with Muhammad Ali. We went in, but Craig also is a former boxer who fought Hector Camacho. He knocked Hector Camacho down in the fight, and also he fought Julio Cesar Chavez and Meldrick Taylor. So Craig is a former boxer, and he's former who fought big fights. He's a former contender. So Indiana is always a great time when we're there. All the stars like Michael Spinks all comes up through there. And Marvin Johnson. Marvin Johnson is the icon figure for the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. So we want you to come out and be a part of that. And also Ring 8. Ring 8 is Boxers Helping Boxers. It's a nonprofit organization. They also have the New York Boxing Hall of Fame. And hey, man, they're doing their class. It's going to happen March 23rd, 25. And with Ron McNair, who's been on the show many times, man, hats off to you. And we'll get him back on the close that we get closer to those dates so he can further announce his class on our show here. But I do this, notice Mitch Green, who I had the indeed pleasure when Mitch Green was fighting, he's going in. And hats off to you, Mitch. Congratulations. He's just one of the star-studded class of 2025 for Ring 8 in the New York Boxing Hall of Fame. And also, we're waiting for Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame President Ray McCline down there in Atlantic City to announce his class at some time, man. I know the classes down in Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame that has so much where boxing history comes alive, really alive, for all the great fights that been in Atlantic City. Ray McCline, president of that. So they should be coming out here pretty soon, and we will have Ray McCline on our show in order he can have the chance and the opportunity to announce his class live on the World Boxing Review radio show. Man, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to tend. And our dear friend Henry Hascott, you know Henry Hascott, been on our show for a long time as one of the boxing historians, and we used to go down the list of every week. We would pick a great fighter or promoter or event that happened in the history of boxing, and we would discuss it intensely to let people know some history of boxing, and it turned out very well. So we're waiting for the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame with Henry Hascott being president. And, you know, for those who don't know Henry Hascott, hey, look, man, Henry Hascott, he does also a ring announcing, Henry Hascott does. And Henry does these ring announcing, he don't take a dime. he does them for free. And that's among the many great things that philanthropy work that Henry Hascop does in that great state of New Jersey and for boxing. And we can't wait till his board and him gets their class for 2025 together. And we'll bring Henry back on here on the World Boxing Review. You know, he's with us. He comes on from time to time and talk about boxing and personalities, promoters, events, and things that happen in the history of boxing. And we're announcing today that Mark Irwin, who is vice president of the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, he's going to do a show a month here on the World Boxing Review about similar what Henry Hascop done. Our first show on January 25th, he will be on for the month of January, and he's going to talk about Jack Dempsey. Man, what a great champion Jack Dempsey was in the roaring 20s of boxing, where boxing flourished. And boy, was Dempsey a real fine champion of that roaring 20. And Mark Irwin, he's going to be, Mark Irwin is a boxing aficionado. He writes many things. What a great writer. Mark Irwin is vice president of the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, and he also is president of the Buffalo Boxing Hall of Fame in the upstate New York, Buffalo, New York. So it's going to indeed pleasure for someone of Mark's status to be joining us here on the World Boxing Review radio show to bring those type of things to the forefront and touch on history. But that class of Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame is going to be announced. They have a meeting. What Larry Lazardi told me, we spoke, is that they will be coming out shortly here after the meeting on the 15th, their board meeting. They'll be coming out with their class of 2025, and we'll have Larry Lazardi and Mark on the phone on the show in order so they can announce their class. I think it's just great. It's going to be something the cutting edge. I had the deep pleasure to be inducted last year to the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. And let me tell you, it was sold out completely with standing room only. And with the Mayor Evans there at the event, and he was presented with a WBC championship belt. We had the Jack Johnson that I own exhibit there at the induction event for that weekend. And the mayor came over and looked at the exhibit, and we were talking, and the mayor got up and spoke, and he spoke about how much he learned. But boy, did Evans put down a great speech for the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. So it looks like the city of Rochester has gotten deeply involved with the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame to bring the Hall of Fame out with people. So much rich boxing history up in Rochester, New York, with Carmen Basilio from that area up there, Angelo Dundee, who went in, who trained Basilio, and Muhammad Ali been up there with Don King and all of that. So Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame has a great, intense history. So we can't wait for Mark Irwin, who's vice president of Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame, to come on our show. So, hey, look, we like you and thank you for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snow. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions, and we travel the world for past, present, and future stars.